And we are underway from Indianapolis. The Mercury, the only team the Fever have not faced this year. They'll match up 3 times over the final 18 games and twice over the next 8 days as Kahleah Copper turns, fades, and banks it home.
A couple of things the Fever have to do tonight. They got to force some tough twos. This is the second best three-point made team in the league. They are fantastic at spreading. They got to advance the pass to look to attack and advance the ball up the floor. This is a slower-paced Phoenix team that loves to play in the quarter court defensively.
There's the head coach of the Phoenix Mercury in his second season. It is Nate Tibbetts. Christy Tolliver, Michael Joyner, and Megan Vogel are the assistants on the Phoenix sideline. It's going to be an offense coming off a 93-point evening in Chicago. The offense was really flowing well. Kelsey Mitchell led the way with 35, but a lot of balance as well as Natasha Howard flips in her first shot tonight.
Her field goal percentage at the front of the rim has been outstanding all season. She's a great finisher, left or right, off 2 feet.
Here's Monika Koa-Makani missing on her first look. Boston with the outlet pass. Here's Cunningham pulling up and missing on a 3-ball. She has been hot, over 50% from the 3-point line over her last 7 games.
Those quick shots are going to be okay for Indiana in transition as long as they can match up defensively should they miss.
Fever looking for their 3rd win in a row, which would match their largest winning streak of the season. An offensive foul will put an end to that possession on a moving screen.
Aaliyah Boston averages 3.5 fouls a game, and it seems her tendency has been for Stephanie White to pick up a couple of quick ones in the first quarter. Like that right there, that drag screen, that's just a rhythm thing between her and Ari McDonald.
The Mercury are in the midst of a monstrous road trip. This is day 7 and game 3 of a 5-game road trip. Kahleah Copper turns it over. They're 1-1 on the road trip here so far. They're coming off a 16-point win in Washington. Nate Tibbetts' group flexing their defensive muscle down the stretch. They held Washington to just 26 second-half points on Sunday.
Well, Alyssa Thomas took over in the 3rd quarter. She had 27, 11, and 8 assists to go along with 3 steals. AT, one of the MVP candidates in the WNBA right now for Nate Tibbetts, the head coach for Phoenix. See the top.
Fever donning their Stranger Things uniforms here for a 2nd straight home game as Boston steps through and can't finish inside. Boston, who is 2nd in the WNBA in field goal percentage, has 3 straight double-doubles. She's never had 4 in her career. Sabally rescues the loose ball on the drive, shot off the mark. I'll say Boston touched it last, so it'll stay here with Phoenix.
So the 3 touches that Copper has times with Copper.
Here's Satou Sabally in her first season in Phoenix. Step through, won't fall. Offensive rebound, draws the foul and 1.
In the WNBA.
Well, Sabally came over in the offseason in that 3-team deal that involved Indiana, Dallas too. Sophie Cunningham came to the Fever in that trade. So both of these teams got better thanks to that 3-team deal. Cunningham has played so well here for Indiana over the last month. So too has Ari McDonald, who did not start the season with the Fever, but has really come on strong. Pass inside, it's a bullet from Howard to Boston.
See, that was the hockey assist by Ari McDonald because she gets it to Howard, who can throw that high-low pass in there. Great find by Natasha.
Thomas with the left-hand push shot, and she rattles it home.
You got to force them to take tough twos, Pat. You can't let them spot up behind the 3-point line. So far, Indiana has not let them do that.
Well, this is what Phoenix does better than anybody in the league. Force, or in this case, attempt to force the turnover.
Watch the great position AB gets. She's
center jump circle. Natasha Mack is 6'4", and Ari McDonald at just 5'6". Mack wins the jump ball. And Sabally has the size advantage, goes right to work, leaves it short. Cunningham had it for a moment. Thomas rips it away. And now Thomas charging inside, draws the foul.
Alyssa Thomas, pound for pound, one of the toughest competitors in the league.
Thomas, who has finished in the top 5 of the MVP voting each of the last 3 seasons, seems all but destined to finish perhaps even in the top 3, maybe even compete for an MVP. DeWanna Bonner can't connect on a 3, but she's fouled.
You can hear the crowd booing. DeWanna Bonner played 9 games with it on the crowd, saying, bring it on. I'll tell you what, DeWanna Bonner has played well in her time at Phoenix.
And now a word from IndianaWorkers.com. DeWanna Bonner, who started her 16th season here in Indiana and played her first 6 games with the Fever, requested out early in the season and is now back with the franchise where she has played 11 seasons with, has played the 2nd most games in Phoenix Mercury franchise history behind only Diana Taurasi, but the Fever having trouble here pulling down these rebounds in the opening quarter. All-star on all-star as Thomas works on Boston, hesitates. Boston got a piece, and Boston able to tiptoe the baseline and come up with the rebound. Here's McDonald, full steam ahead, draws the foul.
It's a really good attack in transition when you don't see 2 shoulders, 2 hips in front, and you see a clear path to the bucket. You have to drive it. Ari McDonald making an excellent read right there. See right here.
Tonight is game number 27 of the season for the Fever. Caitlin Clark has played in 13 of them. So this is their first game where they played more games without than with Clark this year. Ari McDonald has stood in and done a fine job, but the Fever certainly missing their 2nd-year all-star point guard in Caitlin Clark. There is no timetable currently on Clark's groin injury. Here's Sabali back on the attack and lays it in.
Yeah, what Phoenix is doing is just using their size to attack Indiana off the bounce, and they're getting 2 feet in the paint.
Sabali a little slow to get up. The Fever had 5-on-4 for a moment. Sabali making her way back into the frame here, but
inadvertent elbow.
Mitchell catch and shoot off the mark on Kelsey Mitchell's first look here of the night. And Copper lost the handle in transition. There's the rookie Timpson, who's really come on here in the month of July. Boston backing her way in on Thomas, spins, loses the handle, and they'll say Boston touched it last. So Indiana's turned it over here 3 times in the opening 5 minutes. Phoenix forces 17 of those turnovers per game, most in the WNBA. Thomas on the drive. There's a whistle first. And a foul on the Fever. That is already Indiana's 4th.
I mean, Alyssa Thomas coming downhill is not on Indiana.
Here is Thomas, this time with the right hand. It skips off. She is ambidextrous, so she's shooting with the right and the left here tonight.
Phoenix has attempted. We rise, we run, we won't back down. This is our moment, this is our crown. Game on, let's take it home. We fight together, we're not alone. Game on, heart and stone. Victory's calling, it's in our bones. Sweat is dripping, breath is fire. Push the limit, climb up higher. Every step builds our empire. We charge, we chase, we're here to claim. We're the thunder, we're the flame. Game on, let's take it home. We fight together, we're not alone. Game on, heart and stone. Victory's calling, it's in our potentially every night a triple-double. So Indiana has to play a little bit differently without her, and that's fine, because what's going to happen when she comes back is you have more ways, and a variety of ways that you can find a way to win depending on the matchup. You can't play one way in this league. You have to be able to play a variety of ways.
Despite not having her now for the 14th game of the season, Fever have a chance tonight to get to 3 games over 500. That's something they never did at any point last year. They had Clark for all 40 a year ago, so Fever are certainly keeping the boat afloat here. McDonald's been a big part of that, so too has Boston, who can't get that one to go inside. Now it's Thomas straight into Cunningham and lays it in.
Okay, I'm telling you right now, nobody in this league wants to take a charge when Alyssa Thomas is coming at you full speed.
Now Indiana on a turnover on the inbound pass. Here is Bonner, who gets that chorus of boos here from the Fever faithful. Westbeld into the corner, it's Copper. So Indiana with a bucket out of the timeout, but the Mercury. And if you wondered if there might be a learning curve, there has been absolutely none. Mercury started the season 12-3, 4-5 over their last 9 games. It's amazing how quickly everything has come together here for the Mercury. Here's Lexi Hull getting her first minutes, gets inside and draws the foul. It's been a foul-happy first quarter here from Indianapolis.
The tendency for Stephanie White's team coming off timeouts, their ATOs, is the pace and the acceleration which they execute is at another level. So this is
Hull rattles in the first free throw. So far, Phoenix is winning the possession battle here tonight. Both teams are shooting 50% from the field, but the Mercury have taken 6 more shots. They're +4 on the glass and +2 in the rebounding category. Indiana has now hit 32 of their last 34 free throws, as well as 22 in a row. They were a perfect 16 for 16 in Chicago. Hit their last 2 against Las Vegas, their first 4 here tonight, and that's too easy for Thomas.
Well, that's the way you got to guard AT, right? You got to give her a little cushion, and if she gets to the nail, she's pretty good from 15. But you got to make them hit tough 2s. You can't give up 3s.
Already 6 points in the first quarter for Thomas. She's got a massive size advantage on Kelsey Mitchell, who has no help, and Thomas makes her pay.
Spaced out with 3-point shooters, and this is the versatility of Phoenix.
McDonald charging through the defense, too strong at the rim. Really lacked any momentum here in the first quarter.
The other thing with AT on the top of the floor is it forces one of your bigs to have to defend her, which gives them another chance to have another shooter on the floor. Just spaces the floor more.
Mitchell catch and shoots. 2 points here in the first quarter, 1 of 3 from the floor. He needs 22 here tonight to have the best scoring month in franchise history. This is where Mitchell was so dangerous on Sunday in transition, but has done a nice job getting back defensively. Mercury on an 11-2 run here. Final 2 minutes of the first quarter. And Indiana, an unforced turnover. A backcourt violation, and it's their 6th turnover of the quarter.
Yeah, they look a step slow to me. You know, just don't have the same energy. Usually when you put Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull on the floor together, usually you see a burst of energy. Let's see if it changes here.
Sammy Whitcomb on a bounce pass to a charging Mack, who got right to the rim. Shot too strong when she got there. Chloe Bibby has checked in here for the first time. Her pass knocked away by retreating Lexi Held. Chloe Bibby, a rookie out of Maryland from Australia, in her 2nd game on a 7-day contract with the Indiana Fever, came right in, knocked down a couple of 3s on Sunday in Chicago.
At 6'2", she's got great size. She can play the 4 and stretch the floor.
Colson whips it back. Dantes launches and hits a 3.
Dantas staying ready. Didn't play any minutes in the Chicago game in the last one. We're ready to go here.
And Sabally can't answer with a triple. Dantas has played just 2 minutes, in fact, over her last 2 games coming into tonight. Dantas fire away. That one off the mark. And Cunningham took the worst of that.
Christy Tolliver.
Well, she was asked what the toughest aspect has been of joining a new team mid-season, on the fly, not much practice time. None of that. She said it was the jet lag. And she's finally feeling like she has caught up on her sleep as of yesterday. Fever have a shot at a 2-for-1 if they go really quickly here. McDonald tries to do so. Kick out Colson, extra pass. And Bibby can't connect on a 3.
It was the right read, though, by Sydney Colson. Pass up a good one for a better one, especially since she just hit one.
Helm sets up Mack, who connects from the foul line.
I'll tell you what, Natasha Mack has incredible upside. She's very similar to KK Timpson for the Fever. Going to be really great pros.
Final 5 seconds here, first quarter. McDonald on the drive, kick out Colson. On the hesitation, misses on a 3.
Make some tough twos. She's capable, but that's part of the game plan for Indiana so far in the first quarter.
Thomas in 8 minutes with 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. She leads the league in assists at 9.4 per game. Caitlin Clark, 8.8 in the games that she has played this year. Mitchell, McDonald knocks down a triple.
Second triple for Erin McDonald, who does a great job getting her feet set. All it is Kelsey Mitchell drawing some help and giving Erin time to set her feet.
McDonald was really struggling with that 3-point shot earlier in the year. She was 3 for 3 the last time the Fever were in Indianapolis in their win on Thursday as Copper connects.
I mean, there are 4 Olympians on Phoenix's team. They have a lot of talent. The Aces have 4 Olympians. New York has 4 Olympians. Fever don't have any.
Here is Bibby, not shy, and Bibby draws the foul. Sabally too aggressive on the closeouts. We have to love the confidence here you're seeing from Chloe Bibby.
I mean, you're getting an opportunity. You got to take advantage. You can't work your way in. You got to come in explosive, like looking to score. That's why the Fever brought her here. She had a brilliant college career, played at part of her time at Mississippi State for Vic Schaefer, and then helped Maryland deep into the NCAA tournament for Brenda Fries.
It seems to me like players like her on these 7-day contracts, it must be so challenging to want to come in, fit into a new system, show what you can do, and sometimes difficult to pull all of that off. Bibby's done a really nice job here in her game plus with the Fever. Stephanie White hasn't hesitated going to the newest Fever forward. Oh, great defensive stretch there. It looked like she had all ball, then on her way down, maybe there was some contact, and that's what Hull is arguing. Stephanie White wanting a jump ball.
It's all about the angle. Ball pressure by Indiana, really up in the grill of Phoenix, making them make plays off the bounce.
A trio of Sabally and Thomas and Copper, who this team is built around. Already 25 points. If Sabally hits this, they will have matched the Fever as a team. Sabally off the mark on her second free throw. Contact away from the ball as Mack and Boston were battling. See if the Fever can get Kelsey Mitchell going here. So with 2 points here so far, instead it's Lexi Hull off the mark on a 3-ball. And Chloe Bibby able to intercept, and she's tripped up in transition.
Bibby doing a good job right here.
And the Fever are desperately asking for a transition take foul. And they are going to say that is not the case. Take another.
She's a tough competitor, though. She's going to keep battling for position.
That is already the Mercury's 4th foul here, less than 2 minutes in. Rolling Boston can't finish underneath. Boston has opened up here just 1 for 4 on the night. And transition, Thomas, she is dangerous. McDonald bouncing ahead for Hull. Indiana trying to keep the pace up here. Hull is open. And there is the 5th foul on Indiana, the 9th foul of the night on Phoenix. As Boston hits the first. We've had 18 fouls in just over 12 minutes. If this one has felt choppy, that is why.
Well, I did expect it to be a lower possession, slower game, which we started talking about. You know, that's why if Indiana could advance the ball, they need to attack. Phoenix has size, job of being disruptive with their defense.
Mercury have led by as many as 12 points here tonight. Thomas on the spin and picked up a pivot foot. That's a travel.
That's the way you got to play Phoenix, and helps draw that turnover.
More contact there underneath. Hull hits the ground. Boston has a size advantage here. Wants the clear out, gets the clear out, gets inside, and pushes it home.
Yeah. If AB can get to her spot, that's why she's so dangerous. And then back-to-back turnovers for Phoenix. Indiana has a chance on the rim.
McDonald shot out of a cannon.
Leah, Boston now defending AT. We've seen that a couple of times. And there's a steal, 3 consecutive turnovers.
It's Hull with the steal. It's McDonald with the finish.
I think the ball pressure has been outstanding by Indiana. They started the game with great ball pressure up the line, taking away.
Catch and shoot off the mark. That's Katia Laksa. With 5 minutes here tonight off the bench. Boston driving. Boston bank shot too strong.
Boston has had Alyssa Thomas on several possessions, including after the opening jump, and there's another turnover.
Lexi Hull, a 2-on-1, shovels to Bibby. Thomas knocked it away. It'll stay here with the Fever.
Thomas.
Rebounding margin. Mitchell, catch and shoot. Oh, she uses glass. And the Fever have erased a 12-point deficit. We are level. Thomas can't hit inside. Rebound Mitchell. Fever back off to the races. Here's Boston, coast to coast. Cunningham a sidestep. Mitchell a drive. McDonald. Oh, yeah!
What a run by the Fever off their defense. And that is an 8-second backcourt? No, what did they call? They stopped the game. Second backcourt count.
Shot clock's still at 22, so it did not run right away. This is the loudest Gainbridge Fieldhouse has been so far tonight. Thomas driving on Boston, cross-court pass. Westbeld taken away by Howard. Only the sideline getting away is Indiana's defense. And a smile there for Ari McDonald on the bench, and for good reason. 15 points for McDonald. Makoa Makani, cross-court pass. Westbeld answers with a 3.
Westbeld, the Notre Dame graduate, won a national championship in 2018. That's her second triple.
Now these aggressive defensive tendencies by Phoenix, which makes their defense so strong, kind of work against them here. They've been in the penalty for almost the entirety of the quarter.
Well, and here's the thing for Nate Tibbetts' team, Bai really do a good job of getting back in transition to load up their defense. But it's been a consistent whistle on that end of the floor.
Mitchell's first free throw falls off. Mitchell, who enters the day 4th in the league in scoring. 20.2 points per game would be a career high. A little bit of a slow start tonight, at least relative to what she's done lately. That 35-point efforts on Sunday in Chicago helped lift the Fever to their 14th win of the season.
Look at how wide open the lane is. 5 out.
Copper crossing over Mitchell. Here's Thomas. Shot clock down to 5. This hasn't happened much for Phoenix here today. They get.
Indiana was going to take away 3-point shots and force them to the paint, which is what Indiana has done. Therefore, when you get by on a single ball screen, there's no help because Indiana's not coming off the 3-point shooters.
So 10 points here for Thomas. She has been held to 2 assists as Mitchell had her shot deflected. Launch ahead. Akoa Makani tracks it down and lays it in. What work there by the 24-year-old rookie out of Cameroon. Chase that ball down. Initially, it looked like it might be too far ahead of her. Colson left alone and cashes in.
That's a big 3 for Colson. She needed to make one for some confidence.
Indiana with 6 threes in the first half. All of a sudden, Phoenix can't take control of the ball. Mitchell launches and buries a 3.
This whole Fever run is off their D. They have been able to provide great ball pressure.
Well, this has been night and day defensively from Indiana the 2 quarters as Copper drives, lays it in and a foul. Mercury. So after a 30-point first quarter, the Mercury now have 15 in the second. Indiana with a 25-point third quarter. Their offense is humming here. McDonald on the drive, gets inside. 2 more for McDonald, who's already got her Fever high. She's done that here in the first half.
3 triples sets up her driving ability.
A 17-point half for Ari McDonald. Has outscored the numerous All-Stars here that she shares the floor with. Copper working right to left, shot won't fall. And it's Fever basketball. Indiana's turned the tide. Charging hard, pulls it up off the ball. Thomas the rebound. Thomas has the first one stay down. Sophie Cunningham sitting on the sideline.
She's had 2. Now do you make an adjustment if you're Phoenix?
2 Fever point guards are on the floor at the same time. Colson and McDonald have hit 5 first half threes. And pays off, and what a quarter it's been for the Fever, who started the second down by 10, where the bucket here could go up 10. McDonald, Bibby. That would have been the exclamation point on what's otherwise been a brilliant second for Indiana. Oh, and Whitcomb.
Phoenix built their lead to 12 points in the first half by pounding it inside, inverting their size to the block, and taking advantage of the undersized backcourt of Indiana. They countered with their quick ball pressure, their defense, and their ability to turn Phoenix over to get some runouts. I don't expect Phoenix to turn
times per game, 10 in the first half, as Ari McDonald slicing through the defense and draws the foul. And the Fever have already drawn 2 fouls here in the opening 19 seconds of the without Caitlin Clark, but she has saved her best for right now. She had that game-clinching 3 against Las Vegas 6 days ago. Now with Caitlin Clark still sidelined, McDonald with 19 points. She's 6 of 7 from the floor and 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Thomas on a handoff. Here's Akoa Makani back for Thomas, leaves it short.
It's what Indiana is doing here defensively, staying on shooters, not helping. And Phoenix is going to keep running that middle third action with AT.
Boston, handoff. Mitchell looking inside for Aaliyah, but they leave Mitchell alone. She misses. Howard pulls it down, and with the left hand flipped it in.
How did she make that?
A circus shot from Natasha Howard for her first scoring of the night.
She caught it with the left and finished with the left.
There's Sabally bullying her way inside. Shot won't fall. Once again, Cunningham is slow to get up. And here's Mitchell running the floor but can't finish. And now an awkward landing for Thomas as we check in on Sophie Cunningham, who never made it to the other end of the floor. Wonderfully double teamed in the corner, and she traveled.
It's a great trap. It's not necessarily a called trap, but it is over.
It's a 33-15 run for Indiana, bridging the 2 quarters. They've got a chance to go up double digits for the first time. Mitchell can't do it.
Kelsey Mitchell's going to get going before this game is over, though.
Indiana playing so well, and neither Mitchell or Boston on their A game here so far. Copper lines up a 3 and connects.
That time, Phoenix running their ball screen action well below the free throw line again. It's another opportunity for Indiana to look to trap.
Copper has 15 points here tonight. Howard back for McDonald. McDonald fires.
And that's a contested 3. And immediately you see Ari McDonald looks at the bench, goes, my bad. Right?
And Copper's hit the 2 that she's taken. 15 points for Copper. That leads all Mercury players. Boston matched up on Thomas.
Not many players put their 5-player on Thomas. Alyssa Thomas certainly capable, again, of making that 15-footer. That's her range. That's her money shot.
There's McDonald on the drive, draws the foul. Mary McDonald, who is 4 of 4 from the free throw line, will shoot 2 more. She is just 4 points shy of her career high, which is 23. And she rolls in the first. Tonight's trivia question is brought to you by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Coaches know free throws can be the difference maker. Over under 92%. What was Stephanie White's highest free throw percentage in a WNBA season?
I'm going over.
Going a little FanDuel style.
Over. The Wade Trophy winner. Are you kidding me? She shot a lot of free throws in college. More so than she did in the W, but I'm going over.
Now Sammy Whitcomb rattles in a 3, and just like that, Phoenix has pulled back within 3. They're 6 of 11 from the 3-point line, but nobody can stop McDonald. Mary McDonald has now matched her career high with 23. Whitcomb way off the mark. Howard, fire ahead. Boston taps into the corner. Mitchell has a three-ball rim out. Now Copper, this is where she's dangerous. In transition, Copper hangs but can't finish. Still getting her legs underneath her. Bounce pass, Howard flips it up. Listen, Copper, two of the league's best players in transition. The Fever want to keep Phoenix out of that. Thomas runs into Howard and spins it in.
Her shot chart is basically the lane, from elbow to elbow to the rim. And it's tough to defend.
McDonald bounces inside. It's a cutting Howard with the reverse.
One of the best cutters on the team, Natasha Howard. I put Lexi Hull on that list too.
Indiana back up 5. There's a whistle before Thomas even got to the ball, I think. I think it was on Mitchell. Fouls, sitting on 8 points. 3 of 10 here from the floor. Howard has the assignment of Thomas. Lob inside, Sabali catches. Oh, and Howard closes the portal at the rim.
Really good help by Natasha Howard and a great read again. She's made a couple of big defensive.
Couldn't finish. Cunningham back on the floor and secures the rebound. Indiana gives it right back. Moving screen offensive foul. Bonner battling with Hall. Bonner turns, fades, fires, and leaves it way short. Great defense there by Hull. Copper tracks it down and bounces for Bonner, who had her shot blocked. And it's fire away and hits a 3. It's Indiana's 9th of the night.
Go to their horns.
Copper, the hesitation. And Lexi Hull is called for the foul on the Copper drive.
Take away the threes.
As Copper rattles the first free throw in. Copper, who's playing about 24 minutes per game in those 9 games that she's played. Those about 8 minutes shy of what she was playing a year ago. So not only have they not had her anywhere near half of the season, but she's still ramping back up. Knee and hamstring injuries. Coppers look great tonight. 17 points, and she's had an answer for numerous Fever runs. She's got the defensive assignment of Cunningham. Here's Dantas, push way outside. Dantas battling, spins, fades, fires, and hits. Oh, that was pretty from Dantas.
You don't get ready, you stay ready.
Dantas did not play on Sunday, just 2 minutes in her previous game on Thursday.
Another tough 2. Contested 2.
First quarter, Indiana's defense has really been excellent here. Cunningham swinging. Colson, lob inside. 2 more for Dantas.
I love that set by Stephanie White. They go flare, flare to the slip. Really well done. Have not seen that tonight.
The Fever have their first double-digit lead of the night. Here is Thomas with that push shot.
Money.
She's had it going.
You play, can Phoenix get enough 2s? Can they make enough 2s to win? Can you keep defending the 3-point line? Read the space.
She's got 10 points in 8 minutes off the bench. Damiris Dantas. As Whitcomb gets free inside and lays it in.
But that's okay because Lexi Hull did her job. She stopped Whitcomb from taking a triple.
Quick little 4-0 response. A 10-point lead is down to 6.
Dantas on the flare again, being held by Westbeld. The flare and then the roll to the bucket. Stephanie White runs the same set on the other side of the floor.
So one more foul, and the Fever will put the Mercury into the penalty for a second straight quarter. Here's Colson off the double screen. Colson going behind the back, putting on the move, slips it up. Here's Dantas, and Dantas will go to the line.
How about the depth of Indiana? How about Dantas? Doesn't play a minute in the Chicago game.
Well, if you looked at last year's Fever team and said what was their biggest weakness, it probably was their depth. So we take a look at our trivia question presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. I had a feeling that our producer Ken Softman would not select the number for this. Over for Stephanie White, 93.8%. That is not bad. A lot of great foul shooters come from play in this state. Whitcomb finishing through contact. Colson had it knocked away. Good hands there by Hell. But Colson just blows by her. And can't connect with Howard as Indiana turns it over. Fever had 7 first quarter turnovers, just 3 since. Taking much, much better care of the ball. Rare rest for Alyssa Thomas, who's played 25 of the 28 minutes here tonight. Whitcomb's been really strong. Whitcomb drives, steps through, and rolls it in.
Showing her versatility. She knows she's getting contested from 3. Just take it what the defense gives you.
Whitcomb with 12 points here tonight. She hit that 3 to beat the second quarter buzzer. An 8-point deficit down to a more manageable 5. Here's Dantas driving, shot too strong. Pulled down by Westbell. Sabali. Here is Mack on Howard. Mack can't finish. Lexi Held with the offensive rebound, and Held connects. So Indiana's 10-point lead is down to 2. Fever overcame a 12-point deficit in the first half. Just about every team in the league is playing every other day right now. Phoenix is on game 3 of a 5-game road trip. They've gone for 11 days. Howard inside for Boston, taken away by Whitcomb, who was out of bounds, never got back in.
Really active for 37 years. Playing really well off the bench. Her 6:30 a.m. shot routine, that she's done it so much that they have told her that she needs to back off a little bit now that they're into the season, traveling and playing almost every other night. She's got an incredible work ethic. You see it on display tonight.
Sabali got the switch on to Mitchell. Fire inside. Mack had it knocked away. Good hands there by McDonald. Howard comes up with the turnover.
Leah Boston just 2 for 6 tonight. Has not had a lot of opportunity in the paint.
Boston and Mitchell have combined for just 13 of Indiana's 74. The Fever have a lead here. McDonald with 23. Her next point will be a new career high. Mitchell goes through the legs. Mitchell has to get rid of it, flips it up, and draws the foul. No, they'll say shot clock. I thought she got the shot off in time. Stephanie White did too. Let's take a look here. Yeah, that shot. The Fever have been much better lately. They've won their last 2. More of a challenge earlier in the season for Stephanie White's group. Whitcomb with 12 points tonight. Feeds in for Mack, and we are level. Both teams have now erased double-digit deficits. 9:30 to decide a winner. Howard inside, Boston, deep position.
Wow. I mean, Boston works to get that steal and just buries Sabali in the rim.
Boston now with 7 tonight. Here's Copper on the attack. Draws the foul, lays it in. And one for Kalia Copper, who can put the Mercury back in front. This looks every bit the part of superstar Kalia Copper that we have been accustomed to seeing over the last few years. Very welcome sight here for Mercury fans. Dangerous pass there by McDonald, rescued by Howard. Howard trots inside, left hand off the mark. Boston pulls it down and lays it in.
So quick to get it back on the glass.
So Boston, who had 5 points in 3 quarters, has 4 points to open up the third. And way too high there for Whitcomb as the Mercury turn it over.
It's been pretty well documented that she has 2 torn labrums that she plays with, has not opted for any surgery. And that's part of the reason why her shot looks the way that it does. It's really amazing that she's been able to play at such a high level, including being an Olympian and being in the MVP conversation.
Cunningham looking inside. Everything running through Boston here in the fourth. They throw 2 at her. And a foul on Copper, who was a little too aggressive.
It's the first time they brought the double to Aaliyah Boston, but part of that is where she catches the ball when you can bring a double. She's so quick to make her move inside, and she demands a double. And if she gets a double, she'll pass it.
McDonald in for Boston, sees 2, draws the foul. The double was not there on the entry pass. And Boston starting to flex her muscle here in the fourth.
Listen.
9 points, 8 rebounds here tonight for Boston, who is 5th in the league in rebounds per game, right at 8 per game.
Well, Aaliyah Boston was 2 for 6 at half from the floor. Didn't take a shot in the third quarter. And you see 3 consecutive possessions. Stephanie White said, we're going inside.
And Boston, who had 5 points entering the fourth, has 6 points in the first 90 seconds of the fourth. So Phoenix goes the direction of Thomas. But Boston able to get a deflection. Indiana comes up with the stop, and here's McDonald sitting on 23 points, going coast to coast, but too strong.
And Boston can stay aggressive here with only 2 personal fouls.
Whitcomb way outside, too strong on a 3-ball. McDonald has just had that look in her eyes here tonight, but it's Boston taking over in the fourth.
No answer. Aggressive, featured, order is Aaliyah Boston.
And she is 1 rebound shy of her 4th straight double-double, which would be the longest streak of her career. Luana Bonner will check back in here for Phoenix. Bonner with 2 points in 16 minutes. Cole McConney had it knocked away there. McDonald punches it out to center courts. Thomas bouncing inside, knocked away again. Thomas just has to get rid of it, and that's a shot clock violation there. A frustration from Nate Tibbetts.
Only 15 3-point attempts and 6 makes for Phoenix from outside the line.
Boston step through, lays it in. You can't stop her. Boston and 1.
In the fourth quarter.
Missing the free throw. Boston now with 10 in the fourth quarter. She has 10 points in less than 3 fourth quarter minutes, and that's an offensive foul on Copper, and it's her 5th.
The defensive strategy and schemes for Stephanie White and crew have been outstanding tonight. AB guarding AT. Not giving up any 3s, forcing Phoenix into some tough 2s.
Indiana's carved out a 7-point lead with 7 minutes to play. McDonald circling around and had it knocked away. Akoa Makani comes up with the steal. Here is Thomas. Thomas driving at Hull, spins into a double team. Indiana doing a nice job of getting back defensively. But a foul here is called in under 40 minutes. This time McDonald has the steal, going coast to coast, flips it up. Boston pulls it down and continues to dominate here in the fourth. A superb start to the fourth quarter here. He's now got 17 points, 10 rebounds. That moves her into second in the WNBA for most double-doubles. Thomas, also second in the WNBA as she has a double-double tonight. Here is Thomas with a bank shot.
Well, she'll put the team on her back, Alyssa Thomas.
Indiana looks the direction of Boston again. The three-time All-Star sees two. And it's a foul on Boston. Team points in 3 minutes and 49 seconds of the fourth quarter. Sabally able to answer.
You know what worked for Phoenix in the first quarter to build their 12-point lead was inverting their guards, posting up inside, and they've gone away from.
Here is Bonner. Bonner steps in, fires it up, and fires it home.
Good footwork to step in there by Bonner. AT calling for Bonner to come on that dribble handoff.
Here's Cunningham off the curl. Bibby, corner three. Oh, yeah! It's Indiana's 10th three tonight. The most recent from their 7-day player, Chloe Bibby, who has 2 threes on the evening. Indiana's bench has hit 6 of the 10. Copper charging her way to the rim. She can't finish, but the stick back is there for Thomas. Cunningham, fire away. This is her second three-point attempt here of the night. And Thomas and Whitcomb not on the same page. That is the longest stretch of her career. See what she's got up her sleeve. Final 4:35. And a whistle. This is free
The crowd is roaring loud tonight. Hearts are pounding, burning bright and bright. The field's alive, electric light. We rise, we run, we won't back down. This is our moment, this is our ground. Game on, let's take it home. We fight together, we're not alone. Game on, hearts in stone. Victory's calling, it's in our bones. Sweat is dripping, breath is fire. Push the limit, climb up higher. Every step builds our empire. We charge, we chase, we're here to claim. We're the thunder, we're the flame. Game on, let's take it home. We fight together, we're not alone. Game on, hearts in stone. Victory's calling, it's in our bones. It's in our bones.
and steps up and makes what so far might be the biggest shot of the evening. Indiana has their largest lead tonight. It's 11 points.
Sweat is dripping, breath is fire. Push the limit, climb up higher. Every step builds our empire.
Posting up.
We charge, we chase, we're here to claim. We're the
Howard. Former teammate Bonner. Howard goes to work, leaves it way short. Now Thomas, transition opportunity, goes at hole, flips it up and draws the foul.
It's not a bad foul, actually, because you don't want to give up a layup here and make Alyssa Thomas, who is a 68% free throw shooter, have to make 2.
7 assists, she hits the first free throw. It's so rare you don't see Mitchell on the court at the end of the game.
A little surprising.
Cunningham pulls down the rebound, and was there a foul on that? And if so, it's going to be free throws, or do they call a jump ball? They called a jump ball.
You got to make sure you can't let AT get an easy layup here.
That's exactly what Boston and Thomas are doing right now, trying to battle for position.
I like this substitution too, getting a little more length and a defensive player with Natasha Howard's experience on the floor.
Sabally wins the tip back for Copper. And a timeout from Nate Tibbetts. Mercury